A big NFL Saturday as these divisional round playoffs begin. Pete McCarthy for Odds Shopper. We're looking at no house advantage playing versus the house and trying to dive into what I think are some advantageous props that they have up on the board. There are a lot of props today. You can play defensive tackles. You can play field goal kickers and how many field goals they play today. There's a lot to comb through. I got some of the basic stats covered. You also have like longest reception, longest pass, a lot of things to dive into, try to find some edges. But again, I'm going to look at the basic passing yards, rushing yards, things of that nature. Hey, give us a like, subscribe, keep up with all of our shows, our DFS offers, our giveaways. And once you do subscribe, hit that notification button. That's going to give you alerts when our shows go live. We're also available on demand in podcast form on your platform of choice. You can help us out if you so choose and leave a 5-star review. To the picks. All right, so when we're putting together, let's say 5 out of 5 and trying to hit for 20 times our entry fee on No House Advantage, we want to tell a little bit of a story with these picks, not only have the projections in our favor. So Chiefs Jaguars, the story that I want to tell in this game is I think the Chiefs are winning by multiple touchdowns. They're covering that 9-point spread. So that's why I'm going to build my lineup. So Patrick Mahomes, can he throw for 200 yards in the first half? I think that's possible. Does he throw for 317 yards in this game? I'm looking at the under here. I think the Chiefs are going to be up by enough that they are running the ball, playing it safe over the course of the second half, and that Patrick Mahomes doesn't have to throw the ball all over the yard. Our projections have him at about 301 passing yards today, so we could get under on that. I don't think that the Jaguars will be able to do enough offensively to push the Chiefs to continue to try to score and rack up a high total in this game. I think this is going to be one-sided. We're going to have a lot of Chiefs offense, but in two different ways, depending on what half we're looking at. So I feel comfortable going under on the passing yardage for Patrick Mahomes. No house advantage, a couple of ways to play. So we're talking about playing versus the house, right? If you put together 5 props, you get all 5 of them. 20 times your entry fee. That's a big number. You're not going to see that a lot of other places. You could also play the pick and contest. That's my favorite way to play. $15,000 to first place on this Saturday. So if you have a good feel for these two games and you're able to get 10 out of 10 props, it's a confidence pool, right? 10 points down to 1 point. You could really hit big for, I think it's a $10 entry fee today. It could be 15, but you get the idea. So a couple different ways to go about it. If you haven't signed up for No House Advantage at this point, do it. Use the link below. They have a deposit match of up to $100. So you can put in 25 and get it matched. You can put in the full 100 and they'll give you an extra $100 to play with over at No House Advantage. We have free projections over at Stokastic.com to help you make some wise choices here beyond what I might be telling you right here. So again, I have this feel for the Chiefs-Jaguars game. So where else can I go? I could look at Travis Etienne. I'm going to look at his rush attempts, 16.5. I will say our projections have him slightly over this number. I don't like to go over or against the projections we have at Stokastic. Usually I could build a story of a game while using our projections, but 16.5 rushing attempts feels a little high to me. If the Chiefs are going to run out to that big lead in the first half, as I am looking to see in this game. So I'm going to look at the under on the rushing attempts for Travis Etienne. You can also look at the rushing yardage if you would like. 71.5 is the line for the rushing yardage. I think that's pretty fair. That's basically right at our projections. This is a guy who's capable of ripping off a big run at some point, but that rushing attempts line is definitely something that I'm interested in playing. Same thing on the other side, Isiah Pacheco, right? I'm looking at the Chiefs romping in this game. Pacheco should get some opportunities here to run the ball. Two ways to look. You can look at the rushing yardage, which is the one that I like. Rushing attempts is another that our projections like the over as well. 15.5 rushing yards, 12.5 rushing attempts. You go over on both of them. The one thing I would caution with Pacheco is I think that Kadarius Toney is going to play a key role in this game in like a Deebo Samuel / kind of role. We saw a bit of that in Week 18. Now that it's the playoffs, Tony is a playmaker. I think the Chiefs are going to utilize him in quite a different ways. I think he's going to take some catches away as a receiver, especially with McCall Hardman out. I think he's going to take some carries away from Pacheco and Jerick McKinnon. It's the only thing I'll caution here. But again, if the Chiefs are blowing out this game, I see plenty of opportunity for Isiah Pacheco against a bad defense to be able to get to at least 51 rushing yards. We're not asking for 100 yards. We're just looking for 51. I like Isiah Pacheco to get there today. Be sure to utilize Odd Shopper when you're putting together these kinds of picks. It'll give you an idea of, maybe No House Advantage is a much different line than what you're seeing at the sports books. It'll also give you an idea if there's a lot of juice on one side of the line or the other. It just kind of gives you a little bit something to back up what our projections at Stochastic are telling you if you want to double check them. But if both our projections really like something and Odd Shopper is telling you that the number is a little off, or you have some higher confidence because it's minus 140, let's say, at the sports books, that's one that you're going to want to play over at No House Advantage, especially, again, if you get these things to correlate, tell a story of the game. I'll throw out one for you for the Giants-Eagles game. So my feel on this game is the Eagles win relatively easily. I think it's kind of a grind of a game. I look towards the under in this game. We even saw with the Giants, they scored a lot of points last week. They were incredibly efficient. They have long, plodding drives. They want to utilize Saquon Barkley a lot, both in the passing game, the running game. Daniel Jones is running a lot. And I just think you get the kind of game where the clock is moving and you don't have a ton of opportunities for offense here. Same thing, with the Eagles. They want to run the ball more so than put it in the hands of Jalen Hurts. So I'm looking at 21.5 completions for Hurts. I don't think the Giants push him to have to make that many completions. I think that the Eagles are able to win this game relatively easily. I'm also keeping in mind that Hurts had a sprained shoulder a few weeks back. And while he did play week 18 and had last week off, I don't know if he's 100% throwing the football. So that makes me a little more confident taking the under on Jalen Hurts in this spot. The projections like it too. We're about 2 completions under what the line is at No House Advantage. So I like taking the under on Hurts. You can also look at the rush attempts. It's another one that I like, that one being on the over end. I think Jalen Hurts is going to be busy using his legs in this game. Generally, quarterbacks don't have to worry about protecting themselves when you get into the postseason, the playoffs. It's take those yards you can get them. You got to put your shoulder down. You put your shoulder down, even if it is a sprained shoulder. And I think quarterbacks get more aggressive running the ball, especially someone like Jalen Hurts, who's so adept at it. So I like the over on that as well. We know the Eagles are always running those QB sneaks. There's a lot of opportunities for him to get to at least 10 rushing attempts in this game. But if I had to choose one or the other, I'm going under on the completions for Jalen Hurts. And then you could build off of that. And you can go under on A.J. Brown receptions, the Eagles passing game. You go over on Miles Sanders. A lot of different ways you can go, but that's the way that I envision the game. And then, like I said, look at our projections. They're free at stochastic.com for No House Advantage. And you can kind of build a storyline, put them all together, try to get 5 out of 5, and hit 20 times your entry fee. Good luck with that. Remember, too, if you're playing DFS today, check out our lineup generator. That is included when you sign up for a DFS packages at Stochastic. Great tool for both showdowns as well as playing the classic contests in DFS. Good luck.